Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. First set, first leg. Neil
He's been good at a few sports in years gone by. Neil Duff, though, is very confident and thinks that his game is holding up pretty well. He says he's throwing well. And he says, in all seriousness, you know, looks me in the eye and says, I'm here to win this, John.
I don't mind that at all. You never know. Life is very short. Sometimes you only get one crack at something like this. But you know what we call people like Tomo, who are good at everything?
55.
Sickening.
Infuriating.
Well, we'll see how well he can play at this. He was a 3 handicap golfer not so long back.
45.
He's drifted up a bit from there, but
was he gone to 4?
Well, he's probably. I think he's a very dangerous sort of sombrero wearing 6.
I know the type, but then again, wearing a wide-rimmed hat on an Australian golf course is just good sense.
100.
Because that sun comes beating down, you don't have to wear a hat at the Yoki.
Decent start to this match from Neil Duff, and the Duff man gets his first maximum.
Seems to be fitting onto that stage like a round peg in the ground. Very, very smooth from Duff man.
140.
He says he's got more experience now. You know, he's been around, played in different formats, different places, and he feels now that he can cope with being up there on the big stage.
46.
And more than cope, he says he enjoys it.
I think if you look back at the 2019 World Masters at the Circus Tavern where he made the quarterfinals, I think everything really started there. When he made the last 8, he came alive. He lost out to the eventual champion, John O'Shea. But since then, he's done some good
84.
stuff. He's won ranking events. He's become a threat.
He's certainly that. And on the darts here, 90 to take this opening set. Bullseye.
65.
It's not a bad effort, not quite.
Justin, you require 122.
4 18s for the bull for Tomo. Needs another 3 somehow. That lie wasn't particularly kind, as darts do go in very flat.
54.
That's why he was able to find the right side of that first dart, because it was a poor lie. As far as Duffman is concerned, he's still got 5 left.
2-2 now. Rueful shake of the head
the first,
first dart with a very much more trademark little growl of appreciation when it goes in with the last dart.
The rhythm was so good there from Duffman, because with that slip into the 20, he almost made it look as if though he was going to do that on purpose. Now, starting 21st on a 25 checkout is not for everybody, that's 95. For sure, but it doesn't matter as long as you get it right.
Yeah, I can assure everybody who was thinking 1 12.
Unquestionably. One thing I've noticed about Duffman as well is that he's had
58.
A little change of equipment since the last time I saw him play it. He's now using a black and red dart, which is exactly the same construct as Joe Cullen.
Really?
It is an actual Joe Cullen dart.
Well, Joe's somebody 60. Who's certainly found form of late and is at last starting to satisfy and fulfill the enormous potential that he's shown for many a year.
Well, just imagine
getting himself into the Premier League.
Yeah, just imagine what happens if Duffman wins this week. I think everybody's going to be purchasing a set of those darts.
That's why these people sponsor.
140.
Littlehampton FC are off to, well, he says Wembley, but I reckon that might be Wembley. Are they Littlehampton FC?
I don't know much about them. Somebody from the south coast, I know that. Somebody
behind the scenes in our production staff undoubtedly is Googling right now. Are they playing Wrexham in the final? We were talking about that yesterday with our karaoke friend who. I think
we'll soon find out, won't we?
100.
22nd of May. It's a final at Wembley, and Littlehampton FC are indeed there. Oh, playing Newport Pagnell Town. No, it's not 60. Wrexham. What tournament's that?
106.
I don't know.
It's the FA Vase. I've got people whispering in my ear.
Tomo's looking at treble 18 again for the second leg in succession. This time he overcompensates. He has 68 remaining.
58.
Duffman can't do anything from his position right now.
Apart from try and get some heavy pressure on, make that 48 look a must take. Well, it's not happening. Needs a treble. No.
60. Justin, you require 48.
Single 16 or single 8. He goes for the more northern option for tops.
Game shot in the second
Northern
leg.
option
Justin
for the man
Thompson.
from down under, and he's back on
Third
level
leg, Neil
terms.
to throw first.
I think one of the people in the crowd there just wrote too much stuff on their sign. If you want us to read it, keep it to about 5 words.
45.
Something nice, of course.
Oh, of course, keep it positive. There's enough negativity in the world. But when you speak to these guys, you get nothing but positivity. Great guys to speak to, especially Tomo, because I've known him a long time, and he's never said a nasty word about anybody in all the time I've known him.
100.
Well, he hung in there against Paul Hogan, didn't he? And first thing he said afterwards was, well, what a good player Paul Hogan is. And, you know, I think I got him on a good day. It was very late, and I think I got him at the right time.
That has been a bit of a thing for Tomo this week, because he's been battling the jet lag. I don't know whether you've got experience of the Australian to England jet lag, John, but it's not a nice thing.
No, it takes about a month to recover from, doesn't it? It's not nice.
It's about right. I remember when I moved to Australia, I thought, what is this thing? I think I was asleep in the afternoon for about a fortnight.
Well, that's not the way to overcome it. You have to make yourself live in the time of the time, you know, of where you are at that point.
22.
If you keep on going to sleep when you feel tired, it just stays with you.
Absolutely. A bit more experience over the last 15 years has taught me that, but a lot of players coming to this
43.
tournament have had the same problem. Rory Hansen, of course, coming from Western Canada, and Hopai Pua coming from New Zealand, even further away.
The Duff man's in a little bit of trouble here. Tomo just moving into a place where a break of throw
60.
is a distinct possibility. There's Jim McEwen. He's been in great form so far and has moved through into the last 16 himself.
This is better from Neil.
100.
Concentration of those darts together was much improved.
Thompson 179. Duff's on a finish. Tomo needs to start hitting these trebles.
Needs to go south now. Take the 9 off the end at the very least. Gets
good
more.
dart.
27.
Good dart.
Neil, you require 128.
This is tricky. 60 for Bull left. Has to go back to the 54 now.
56.
82 for Tomo.
Justin, you
Bull
require
routes
82.
is the way they normally go. Treble 14. Bull. 17 now leaves tops.
Game shot in the
Well
third
played, break
leg.
of throw.
Justin Thompson.
Really well done from Tomo. Really
Fourth
measured
leg,
as well
Justin
as
to
Dean
throw
Winstanley,
first.
Mrs.
Game on.
Lorraine Winstanley, and Tori Kewish of Australia watch on.
It was a nice piece of work from Tomo, and that was a break of throw. And so now he's got the darts to take this opening set. Neil Duff
140.
needs to just settle down and get positive thoughts in his mind.
Are we going to see something in this match very similar to what we've just seen with the two ladies from the Netherlands,
60.
where the person who's already played this week has the upper hand?
Well, that's very true. I mean, that's certainly it certainly looked as though that was the case in that last match. That there's an advantage that she kind of comes on and, metaphorically speaking, hits the ground running. More used to the stage, because she looked like a
100.
completely different player to the one who laboured so badly in the first round.
Well, how often do you see, John, someone from one game to another improve their average by 15
100.
points? That
Is that what
doesn't
it
happen
was?
very
Is that
often.
the improvement it was?
Yeah, 56 average, and then in that game, 71. If she does half of that in her next game, she's going to be very competitive if she gets up towards 78, 79.
Definitely.
42.
Well, Duff with a bit of a chance here to start clawing his way back with that indifferent visit from Justin Thompson.
140.
And he does precisely that. That's good. That's more like it.
One thing Neil has to do in this afternoon session is somehow use the vociferous support he's got in this audience, because there's plenty of vocality out there from the Northern Irish contingent.
Popular player in that part of the world.
45.
And there's the man who's going to be playing in the next round if he can beat Justin Thompson, Nick Fulwell. Getting a bird's eye view of proceedings.
130.
Here's a job done for Nick. He can sit back and relax for the rest of the day now. 71 for Duffman to take us into a last leg decider in set one. Tomo looking to pressurise. 134 is the magic number, and that's not going to be found.
$82. Neil, you
Good last
require
start. Nice
71.
cover shot now. 71 then to square up the match. And he's found a treble 4, so 19 he wants now. And that's tops.
Game
Well
shot the
done, and again,
flag. Neil Duff.
extricating himself with a poor first start and making it look as though it was part of the plan all along.
One thing I have to say about that
Game on.
visit, that he's very fortunate he found the treble 4, because if he gets the single, he's got 67, which is possibly only one shot of the bullseye, but the treble gave him a single to
100.
double combination, which gave him more surface area to work with.
Whatever, he gets there. Not a lot between them in terms of scoring. Level in the match, and now the set being determined, and Duff with the darts. So he has,
100.
I suppose, a marginal advantage, but it's going to be who blinks when the double comes.
Absolutely right. No blinking here.
125.
Thought he was going to fill that one up.
There's a hush over this place for a Tuesday afternoon, as this tournament starts to get more intense by the hour.
43.
Everything trying to follow in the footsteps of Roman versus Haynes last night, which was exceptional fun.
Oh, what a good game that was. I
83.
got many a tweet and text about that one. People absolutely loved that game. Went right the way to the final leg.
We did that twice yesterday. First game of the day and the last. 4 matches this afternoon, 4 matches tonight.
83.
Don't miss a thing. Duffman, 193. Bringing the score down gradually. Staying up top, but decides to
97.
switch at the last second, and it was a very good decision.
96, a great leave. A 2-dart potential checkout. Tomo, a long way back. Might go bull with the last dart. Yeah.
93.
Tried to anyway. But
Neil, you
96.
require 96.
Perfect. Double 18.
Game shot in the
Can't
first
get enough
set.
of that wonderful
Neil
Duff. Too much about that. I think we may get some tweets.
Oh, he's a Birmingham City fan. It's you know, it's the way it is. Not everybody supports West Brom in the West Midlands.
40.
We'll have to have a little chat with our friend Ian Danta then. He's a Birmingham City fan, isn't he? And he's a big fan of The Simpsons as well, so I'm sure he loves Duff, man.
I think his real passion in life is
123.
Kiss.
The music.
Correct.
A passion from these guys in set one, but more from Duffman. When he hit that 96 checkout to win set one, he showed a real bit of spirit, which was echoed by his
26.
supporters on the floor here.
And he'll be hoping that he can push ahead in this particular leg and get a break of throw, which should be an ideal way to
140.
start this second set.
This is in the top half of the men's draw, where people like Roman, Jared Cole, Luke Littler, Veenstra, Warburton and McEwen are already through, as well as the prospective opponent, Nick Fulwell. After this
26.
match, we will turn our attention to the bottom half of the draw, because the top half will be completed.
'It's a
41.
massive deflection. points an accusing finger at the dart that was responsible. How dare you?
Yeah, I really wanted to say that in my favourite Northern Irish accent, but I do not want to offend anybody, so I won't. Especially my friend Connor, who lives in the West Midlands, funnily enough. Lives near Wolverhampton. Great darts fan. Always follows all of the Northern Irish
78.
players. As are everybody here at the Lakeside on Tuesday afternoon.
Those are both in the 5. 187 required.
27.
Good thinking. Believe it or not, because 170 is the biggest checkout, a lot of people think it's the most difficult, when in fact it's not. The most difficult would have to be 167 or 161. Because you have to use different trebles to get to the bullseye.
Neil, you require
A
170.
lot of people find double one quite tricky.
Yeah, a few people have seen that already this week, but Duff, man, looking
81.
quite solid for a breaker throw in leg one of the second set here, unless Tomo can find something with this visit.
That's an ideal start. So 89
Neil, you
then
require
for Duff
89.
for the breaker throw. That's a great first dart for double 16.
Game shot on the first leg. Neil Duff.
There's nothing wrong with his finishing. That's 96
Second
and
leg, Neil
89.
to throw first.
Perfectly
Game
done
on.
in 2 different legs. Great stuff.
Yep, perfectly done. It can be done in 2 darts and was perfected in 2 darts. And look at that.
140.
Almost unsustainable doubling there from Duff, man. Speaking of Australia, though, John, you spent much time over there?
No, not a lot. I was over there for the Olympics when they were in
100.
Sydney.
Oh, you lucky man.
But I don't think I've been there since.
So you got to see that famous 400-metre race.
100.
Certainly did. 112,000 people in the Olympic Stadium watching on, and Kathy Freeman winning it for Australia. She was very much the poster girl of the games, and she was just overcome by the enormity of her achievements. I remember her
91.
running in that extraordinary one-piece hoodie and kneeling on the track after crossing the line. It was just one of the great moments, and the noise from that Australian
60.
crowd was extraordinary.
I can imagine. So did you get your Australian nickname when you were down there? Because Australian nicknames are really easy to find out. He's Tomo because it's obviously Thompson. You chop it in half and you put an O at the end.
Yeah.
You can't say Rollo. That's just a bit hard to say. So you're Jono.
Jono. Oh, I quite like Jono.
80.
I've been called Rawley, which I detest. So if you want to really annoy me, call me Rawley.
I'll stick to whatever you want, John. I'll just call you Jono.
I've been called 1 or 2 quite unpleasant things as well.
Me too. Well, Duffman's on a possible 2-0 scoreline here in set 2. 101. Very handily placed. And I'll be really curious to see where he goes with his first dart when he comes back. He's usually quite traditional.
80.
Doesn't like to use the bullseye a great deal to start. Ah, there you go. 44. That leaves tops.
81.
Almost does it again for another impeccable
Justin, you
finish.
require 150.
Down from Mayfield, that's Lancashire, isn't it?
There's a Mayfield not far from me down in East Sussex.
Oh, is there? Oh.
Got a great farm shop down there.
So tens
45.
then for
Neil, you
Duff
require 20.
to go 2 up in this second set.
Game shot on the
Beautifully
second
done,
leg.
he said.
Neil Duff.
I'm going to win this one
Front
3-0
leg,
at the
Justin
moment.
to throw first.
Looking as though he could do
Game
that.
on.
I think they're fairly happy. That's an extraordinary haircut. I hope it's a wig. I think it is.
Kind of looks like one of my favourite NFL players, Troy Polamalu of the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's very famous for having a very big contract with the shampoo company.
100.
You have hair like that, you need a lot of shampoo. Lots of joy in that section here at Lakeside, and why not when you're supporting Neil Duff, who is very close to being 2-0 up.
97.
My great knowledge who whispers in my ear tells me that it's actually a tribute to a Disney film where The Rock
Moana?
Did the voiceover. That's the one. And The Rock was the man who did the voice in there. He was
That is correct.
He was the big star.
I haven't seen it. I've just heard about it.
I usually get dragged along to those sort of things by my kids. It's an
95.
opportunity to have a bit of quality kip, I find.
You're just saving yourself for Jules Van Dongen's walk-on, John.
Oh, absolutely. We want some Dutch rave music. That's going to be special. Our referee Marco, who's actually
60.
an absolute doyen and devotee of that particular style of nightmare music. He's promised to stand at the back of this auditorium and go through the full rave
171.
output. Great visit. Terrific. As good as a maximum, and Duff is closing in on this second set.
Well, Anthony Dundas, our referee there, gave that the full bellow for the 171, but he'll have been devastated that his signature number was called by Marco Meyer in the previous match of 174, but Duff, all he wants to hear is game shot in the second
97.
set.
The referees always used to have a
Nearly
little
require
bet among
138.
themselves about who would call the most 171s. So that might be something to do with it. There might be a bit of finance which was involved in that shout.
58.
A little sweepstake.
You got it.
Duff, very close to 2-0. And his finishing so far in this match has been really impressive. And he should get at least one dot at tops. Now, Tomo has pressurised. That's
121.
incredible.
Neil, you
Yeah,
require
great
80.
visit. Now 80 needed. Double 10. That's a good marker, but having to move across slightly.
Game
Fabulous
shot in the
dart.
second set.
Real
Neil Duff.
confidence, precision dart. And Neil Duff is now 2 sets up, only needs one more.
Average in that
Third
set was
set,
closer
first
to
leg, Neil
92.
row first.
A really good
Game
improvement by around 6 points from set 1 to set 2. And he's starting to get confident. The one thing he's been working on more over the last 3 months,
96.
because of the delay for this tournament, he was talking about working on his technique, but I think if you look at how he's performing here, it's the rhythm that he's worked on. It's such a lovely rhythm. He said in his head, John, that he was almost playing against Paul Hogan in his head.
100.
Yeah. He came out with that line in the interview that I did with him. You know, you sort of, the draw's been done some time ago, and he had a look at it,
100.
and we all know how well Paul Hogan can play, and he obviously thought that he was going to beat Tomo. Didn't happen, so he's had to reassess to a different style of opponent, a different pace of opponent.
It's one of the dangers, really, of being a seed.
91.
There are great benefits to being a high seed, of which Neil, of course, is, with that number 5 next to his name, but it's a dangerous thing to say, I'm going to prepare to play this person, when in
82.
fact you've got no idea who you're going to play.
Well, you know, I mean, I think it was. I think it's just kind of inevitable that you look at it and you think you assess the options, and it's difficult to blank out that sort of assessment. Maybe.
Yeah. I suppose in boxing, which you know a great deal about, a fighter
60.
will prepare for a certain bout, a certain opponent's style, and then it gets changed at the last minute. That must be really, really difficult.
Yeah, well, I mean, there have been classic examples of that one. Remember Lennox Lewis's last
61.
fight of his career. Vitaly Klitschko, now the mayor of Kiev, by the way, he came in as a late replacement, and he gave Lennox just the most horrendous night. He managed to win Lennox, but he was losing on all 3 cards when the stoppage came.
Yeah, maybe a little fortunate it was Mr. Lewis. 162 for Duff. He's got 6 from here to start set 3 in perfect fashion. That's good.
105.
That leaves him on a single to double combo.
Yep, 57, 2 darts needed. And 2 darts away from the ideal start to this 3rd set, which Neil will be hoping is going to be
41.
trousered comfortably
Neil
for him.
require
There's some of his
57.
supporters. Look handy lads, don't they? Tops. Double 10.
37.
Only missed by a fraction.
When he's missing, he's not missing by much.
149.
I don't say handy lads disparagingly, of course. It's just a description of people who look as though they could look after themselves.
Absolutely. Treble 19. Tomo looking to look after himself. This would be very good indeed. Here comes the hush. There's the noise.
On the first leg, Justin
What a
Thompson.
break of throw that is. 149. Absolute quality.
That needs
Second leg,
a
Justin
lot of
to
celebrating.
throw
That's a
first.
really
Game
difficult
on.
out. But boy, did he need that.
Check out of the match, that was, in my opinion. And it's given him a start that he craved in a set he has to win. The big thing is, after the adrenaline rush of that, to build on it. And he's doing it. Great darts.
131.
More 2 treble visits needed in this match if he's going to find a way back from 2-0 down. But we've already talked about that
140.
Rahman against Haynes match from last night. That is the position that we had in that match. Rahman was 2-0 up and he
Indeed.
was cruising. And then everything changed in sets 3 and 4.
Yep. Johnny Haynes, the Swindon punk, came blasting back.
123.
Oh, there was some people who've made it down from that Swan Hotel in Buxton supporting Tomo.
140.
Volume's going up in here by the throw. Now, if Tomo's going to miss that 60, he's much better missing it just underneath. He's blocking that segment way too much.
And coming away.
43.
I made a bit of a pig's ear of that. And Duff superbly is punishing him.
180.
Perfection.
Well, if the other one was a pig's ear, that shot from Duff, that was a braised ox cheek in beautiful red wine jus. It was gorgeous.
Thompson taking his time.
That was very well measured, that second dart. It was
100.
much needed, that treble.
Neil, you require 41.
Hello, Jackie.
41 then. To break back. Should be a marker. And is
shot the
used
second
beautifully.
line.
You heard
Neil
it just
Duff.
kiss the barrel as it found its way in, making it a big
Third line,
target.
Neil to
Used it
throw first.
perfectly,
Game
and
on.
now back on level terms.
You must be impressed with this performance, John, because he
He's
looks
very
so confident.
He's throwing well. I mean, he talked a big match, didn't he, beforehand?
100.
And when you speak like that, I said, you know, well done. That's nice to hear somebody speaking like that as he did. But you kind of have to go and back it up, and he has.
Northern Irish darts has never been in a better spot than right now. You look at stalwarts like Brendan Dolan, Darrell
100.
Gurney. You've got Josh Rock coming through as well. What a player he's turning out to be. Neil Duff smacking that 60.
140.
He's having a little purple patch at the moment. And Tomo has got to break that rhythm. That first dart again was a bit of a blocker. He's coming downstairs.
57.
He almost had to stay on the 20s with dart 2 there. And then eventually he was given no choice, but had to go to the 17s. 344
57.
can give you a chance of leaving a finish, but you must find 3 big trebles. Now, he's got a chance of a maximum.
125.
Not sure where that one came from, and he's not sure either.
Things are getting very tight here for the Australian. He's been backed into a corner
100.
by the consistent brilliance of Duff. Well, come to Lakeside, dress as a lobster. Okay.
Why not?
Never crossed your mind to do that, John?
Well, it'd be a bit wasted, wouldn't it, sitting here in the commentary box, because nobody'd see it.
97.
That's
Neil,
a
you
great
require
point.
104.
Well, can Neil Duff put the points where they should be? 104 away, make that 44 for 2-1 in the third.
84.
Great effort. Well thrown
Justin,
dart.
you
He
require
thought it was in.
122.
122. This for a break of throw again. Treble 18 would leave the bullseye.
The lie is better this time.
He's got it. Bull then for a spectacular checkout. Well, it was a good effort, but not quite.
Neil, you require
Double 10
20.
then for 2-1 for the hold. And that puts him within a leg of the match.
Neil Duff.
I haven't seen many players in the men's competition so far that have been exuding the same confidence that Neil Duff has right now. That double 10 bed, he's owning it.
Have you seen that Disney film? Is it worth seeing?
Moana?
Yeah.
Is it Moana? Something like that? I haven't seen it. And I do know plenty of parents who have seen it a lot because their kids love it. Sometimes it's not up to the parents, it's all about what the kids want to watch.
Tell me about it.
Do you know what my dad used to have me watch when I was a kid? Two things.
The Simpsons, I suppose.
125.
Wrestling.
Darts, and Bruce Lee.
All right. So you just found the joy of wrestling off your own back?
Yeah, it was my fault.
.96,
Neil, you require
treble 20,
96.
double 18 is what he's looking at. Just double checks and looks to his left where the scoreboard is. 76, treble 20 would leave double 8. Again, double checks his score. Can't finish now though, so Thompson
56.
with a chance to salvage something.
Justin, you require 100.
You would dearly love this 60 with dart 1 to give him 2 shots to win this leg. That makes things a bit trickier. Now, he should go tops here, but I think he's going 60. I don't think that was the right play. Tops, or possibly treble 16 for double. 2 open beds. And Duff comes back
40.
to finish this job.
Neil, you require 40.
40 he needs. This for the match. Double 10. Could be a good marker. Oh, and it's just
30.
overdone it.
Justin, you require
I have to
60.
say, I'm quite surprised by that. His doubling's been so good in this match, but sometimes the last double is the hardest one to hit. Tomo to take us to a one-leg decider in set 3. He's going to have to find a really good shot here. This is tricky.
20.
Not to be, but double 5 is never
Neil,
easy.
you require 10.
Straight at it for double 5. For the match. That's what can happen.
No score.
Lobs it away in disgust
Justin,
and
you
busts the
require
visit.
40.
3 clean at tops for 2-2.
Game
Right
shot in the
in its
foreplay.
epicenter.
Justin Thompson.
And after 5 missed darts for the match, Neil Duff has got a lot on his mind now.
Fifth
And
leg,
if he wants to
Neil
win
to
3
throw
sets to
first.
0, he's going to have to break Tomo.
Game on.
No, he's got the throw. He, undone by a small delay in that grab.
Listen to the ref. You've got Anthony Dundas up there, one of the best in the business.
Mercifully, we do this commentary from a soundproofed box, so you can rant and roar and say what you like, and it's not going to be
45.
putting the players off. It might putting people off in their lounges, but it's not putting the players off.
So far in this first effort in this final leg of the third set, nothing has really gone to plan for Neil Duff. 3-8-6 after 6 is not what he wanted.
But he's not being punished. That's a better one.
100.
Better dart.
100.
Got to continually improve as Wolfie watches on. And John Desiree, he's still in the tournament.
Character is John Desiree. He's got an extraordinary watch which
60.
tells you the time with a message laced with profanities. Where on earth he bought it, I really couldn't begin to guess.
Very interesting.
Well, ask him to show you.
I certainly will now.
I can't describe it anymore, or else I'll never work again. But you know.
125.
We can describe that 1-2-5 as really good. 1-6-1 now. To get the job done, Tomo must join him in the finishing zone with a 140 plus. Now he's not going to get there. That single one scuppers that.
121.
So
Neil, you require
161.
161.
I doubt he'd go for this, even if he had the opportunity. He can't do it now, so it's just the setup. And trying to get down as far as he can.
90.
Uses the bull to very good effect.
Good tactics. Love that use of the bullseye and 25 on the end of that particular number. And 71 away to try and get it done. He's already missed 5 match darts. He does not want to go down the same route
59.
as an Andreas Harrison, who had
Neil, you
6
require
and lost.
71.
He'd like to finish this one right now. 116 is very makeable. 71. Double 10 he needs.
Game,
and he gets it.
Shot, and the match.
Puts it away.
Neil Duff.
Got the treble he wanted. Got the double he wanted.